Hey everybody, Pastor Zach here. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today as we gather together, as we live into the world, as we live into this opportunity to gather, to build community, and to be connected. I was struck this past week as I was prepping for Holy Week services. So Holy Week is from Palm Sunday through Easter. So we go through the last days of Jesus's life. Here we did Palm Sunday, we do Stations of the Cross, but we still do Maundy, Thursday, where we live into the Last Supper of Jesus. We do Good Friday, which is the crucifixion of Jesus and the burial of Jesus. And then, of course, Easter is when the tomb is empty and we celebrate. I was really struck this past week, with the final words of Jesus. The final words of Jesus were, "It is finished." And, there, in a sense, is a sense of finality, that it's over. Jesus breathes his last, gives up his spirit, and dies. But we know, as believers, that it's not over. That just because that part is finished doesn't mean the story is over. And I think that struck different this year, because, no matter what we're going through, no matter where we are in our life, no matter what stage we are at, that stage can end. And yet, that doesn't mean that our life is over in most instances. And even if it is, even if we ourselves breathe our last, and we've had a few members of our community pass away recently, we believe that that's not the end, that gives new life, that, Jesus promises a resurrection, a new place, being healed, being made new. And yet, while that hopefully for many of us is still far off, what does it mean to hear those words, "It is finished," but it's not over? I think it gives us this opportunity to see the world a little bit differently, to see our lives a little bit differently. Are we able to let things go faithfully, trusting that whatever it is not? I'm struck by, there's a pastor out of Canada called Carey Nieuwhof, and he often says it's mission over method. And what that means is the method, how we do things, how we do something might change, but the mission, what we're called to do, doesn't. So here at Allegheny, we are blessed to serve the community, to engage people in various ways, and that has changed over the years. And so the methods have changed. In fact, right now we have a blessing box out front for anybody who is in need of food. It is there, available 24/7. It is stocked. So if you know of anyone local, have them come by. There's food. But we are in the process of looking at that and actually expanding it. So that's going to be changing, and all of that. So the method is changing, but the mission to care for the community isn't. The different groups that we interact with, for years we had a huge group of different groups that we worked with, but we never got deep with them. Now we've solidified that, we've shrunk that some, so that we can go deep with several, so that we can really have that connection and build that relationship. And so the method has changed, but the purpose, the mission of caring for the community and the world hasn't. This Saturday, we are having a concert, which I'm really excited about. So mark your calendars, 3:00, come here, show up, enjoy it. It's going to be amazing. And then we're going to have a World Hunger Auction. The World Hunger Auction is changing some, but the goal is to raise money for battling hunger in our community and in the world. And so the mission hasn't changed, but the method has changed a little bit. And I think this concept that we live into, of faith and understanding, is just that Jesus reminds us that things change, that the world changes, that life changes. And yet it doesn't always mean that if something finishes, that it's the end. It can offer new beginnings, new hope, new promise, new engagement for the world around us. And so as we live into that, as we engage that, maybe share this with someone who you haven't yet with, or who's struggling with something, or who's looking for a way to connect and to be involved. I am more than happy to have conversations, to talk, to start those relationships, to have them engage with other people here in this community, because we are called to serve the community around us. We are called to invite people into a loving, knowing relationship with God so that we can all go out and proclaim and live into that love together. So thank you all so much for spending some time with me today. Wherever you are, whenever this finds you, I invite you to share it. I invite you to comment your thoughts about this. Maybe something that you're struggling with, or maybe a joy that you found this Easter season, and live into the promise that God has for us, and maybe how you've changed a little bit in these last weeks or months. Thank you all so much for spending some time, for engaging in this, and for living into your mission that God has for you. Take care, everybody. God bless. Hope you all have a great day and a great week. We'll see you soon.